Welcome to the ART Challenge. ART stands for Assistive, Rehabilitative and Therapeutic Technology Challenge. This challenge is open to all students from undergrad programs in Singapore and in other countries like Malaysia and India. Beside the students category, we also have an open category for those people who are postgrad students, researchers, and people who have a general interest. Arts Challenge objective is to challenge you to create socially innovative ideas which will help people with disabilities. Thus, this challenge is focused on social good. This challenge is conducted in Malaysia, and the host of this challenge is University Technology Malaysia. Details can be seen on this slide. This module is titled Understanding Disability and How Arts or Assistive, Rehabilitative and Therapeutic Technologies Can Facilitate Independence Among People with Disability. In short, what we call PWDs. My name is Dr. Bala S. Rajaratnam, and I'm the co-founder of the National Arts Challenge. You're most welcome to contact me on my email at founder@artschallenge.org. Module 1 covers the area of understanding disability. The focus is presenting to you some facts about disability and discussing common types of disabilities as well as the myths related to disability. Do you know that the world's population has got about 1 million people with disabilities, which was reported in 2011? This accounts for 15% of the world's population. It is expected that these numbers will rise significantly with the aging population, chronic disease, obesity, particularly in Asia, as well as the fact that excellent healthcare has led to us living longer lives, unfortunately with disability. But with the advancement of and access to education, more people with disability hold degree qualifications, and these people are contributing actively to society and for us all. There are many myths about disability. People believe that people with disability are not successful. However, if you see this picture, you may recognize her as Agatha Christie. And this gentleman is without question somebody we have learnt a lot from. And Sir Richard Branson, who is famous for achieving a lot of entrepreneurial work. All these people have disabilities, but that has never stopped them from being successful. Their motto is never, never, never give up. A very famous person with disability is Professor Stephen Hopkins, who has motor neuron disease. In his foreword of the World Report on Disability in 2011, he wrote the following. He emphasized to us that we need to invest sufficient funds and resources to unlock the vast potentials of people with disability. Professor Hawkins has never let his disability limit him from leading a fruitful life. This same view is also expressed by Neil Marcus, who believes that disability is not a struggle, but much more of a way of facing adversity with ingenious ways of living. You may want to click on the attached video to hear what people with disabilities think of themselves. Let's focus on the next few slides on understanding common disabilities. The intention of these presentations are not to educate you totally on disabilities, but rather to make you have a better scope of these people with disabilities and how they have lived and coped with their lives. The picture here shows somebody who's lost their leg, yet they live an active life, participating in swimming events and contributing to society. Another type of disability is people who are born with spinal bifida. This condition is when the spinal column doesn't close, and this may lead to paralysis below the level of the closure. I would like to encourage you to watch the video attached about Monique and to understand better about spinal cord injuries and appreciate that spinal bifida is a condition which requires and is assisted with assistive technology. Motor neuron diseases are quite common, and it will lead to muscle weaknesses. The attached slide shows you the changes that take place in the lower limb. Features like foot drops, poor knee control, and an extensive sway of the pelvis is quite common. It is important for you to appreciate that trying to rectify or improve the gait of a person with motor neuron muscular dystrophy, such as foot drops, can be valuable, but the total body needs to be focused on, and it's important thus to consider what is the main problem, at least in terms of adapting assistive technologies to help. The group of conditions of neurological conditions may start as early as childbirth. Children may experience cerebral palsy, and there are many different types of cerebral palsy. Generally speaking, there are 4 categories of them. This slide shows a person with cerebral palsy, and it would be good for you to view the video clip after this presentation to understand that people with cerebral palsy and children with cerebral palsy particularly seem to live and cope with their disability. They just need a lot of help to ensure that they can get around places, receive good education, and many other things. The other group on neurological conditions is spinal cord injuries. And this is a group of people where there is an injury or damage to the spinal column and they get paralyzed waist downwards. Fortunately, with today's technology, many of these people may be able to walk again, obviously using these technologies like exoskeletons, and be able to minimize the possibility of them being dependent on others. I would recommend you to watch the video clip. The third group is those people who've experienced a stroke or a traumatic brain injury. I will not elaborate on these things in too much detail, but to suggest that it would be good for you to better understand these group of people and how the damages to the brain do affect their motor ability. Statistics is showing that visual impairment is on the rise. By the year 2020, it's been said that 75 million people will be totally blind and 200 million people will have low vision. The main reason for such a high statistics is the growth or the due to cataracts. But technology has caught up with this group of people and is assisting them significantly. Smart glasses, which have got intuitive camera-based systems embedded in them, allow people with visual impairments to be able to maneuver around shopping centers, supermarkets, and even read the menu of at the restaurants. The video clip gives you more details. Hearing impairment represents 8% of our population, and this is associated to rise with age. Speech impairment leads to people having difficulty communicating effectively. Sign language has been the mode of communication. And recently, Kinect technology has been adapted to allow people to convert sign languages into text, making it easily understood by those who don't understand sign language. The growth of smartphones has also facilitated this group of people with speech impairment. For the last group of people with disabilities, I like to focus on intellectual disabilities. This is people who have lower IQs. Because of their lower IQs and other reasons, they may not focus or have the ability to focus on learning. To share with you an idea that was presented at the recent iCreate conference. Using Kinect technology, a team from Australia used it as a form of art program. What is interesting is that it allows the children to focus on a target, and this focusing ability could then be translated to education.